Go.
Hello, this is Bill Topping. We're at Stetson University with Jeff Altier, Athletic Director, and we're going to discuss this year's fall sports for the ASUN Conference. In fall sports, we have cross-country, volleyball, and soccer. Let's start off with cross-country. We've got a new coach.
Bill, we do. Joe Matusik joined us this year as head coach. Joe was actually an assistant coach with us last year and was a former runner. He ran for us maybe 5 or 6 years ago. Joe is an accomplished runner. He was one of our most outstanding athletes, so we're real excited about bringing him on board. I think he can connect very well with our student athletes. And, you know, cross-country for us is a sport that demands great dedication. And what you end up with in cross-country is a lot of students that are high academic achievers, and they want to continue their running throughout their life. And one of our objectives with our cross-country program is to instill a love of running in these young men and young women so that they continue this sport later on through their life. So we're real happy to have Joe join us as the head coach of both the men's and women's program. He will be hiring an assistant coach coming up here in the very near future as they get ready to start the season.
And I know that, as you said, real dedication in this climate to do the kinds of things that these young men and women do, and it's pretty interesting watching them around campus. You're liable to see them running just about anywhere.
You are, and they're going to do it at 6 o'clock in the morning to try to beat a little bit of the heat, but they can't always do that.
Which proves how smart they are going back to their academics. Next up be volleyball. We have a new coach in that sport as well.
Tim Lesh joined us in February, and it's been a great year in volleyball in that we've brought on a new coach who comes in with a level of enthusiasm and excitement for the program. But at the same time we're bringing in the new coach, we're also adding sand volleyball to our all of our sporting offerings, or it's just another sport that we're offering. And we think the combination between hiring Tim and assistants and the addition of scholarships into that program will not only help our court volleyball or indoor volleyball team, but also our outdoor sand volleyball team. And so we're excited about the future of volleyball.
Sand volleyball is in the spring, but some of those players will be on either squad, or there's a bit of an overlap?
There will be an overlap. We're looking at it. You've got 14 players essentially that will be participating on both court volleyball and 14 in sand volleyball. We expect there'll be about 6 or 7 of those young ladies that will overlap, will play both sports. Though they're going to use that as training in both sports, but for us, 6 or 7 will overlap.
And they get going in a hurry, real soon, a couple weeks in fact. Next up for the fall is soccer, men's and women's soccer. The women's soccer team, they've been set at probably number 6 or 7 preseason. Preseason doesn't mean a lot, of course.
Sure.
Julie, the coach, is the same head coach we've had for a bit here.
Actually, just signed Julie Orlowski to an extension in January. Julie does a tremendous job. She recruits quality young ladies that are gifted athletes. They perform very high academically and they compete very strongly. And as a matter of fact, you know, Tessa Gavilski, who in her 4 years here was the Conference Player of the Year twice, and on the third chance got voted by another organization as one of the top players in the league. But again, graduated in 4 years and right ahead, and that's the type of students we have involved in that program. And that program has been highly competitive, and we're bringing in a host of new student athletes this year. We did graduate a significant portion of our team last year. So it will be a little bit of a rebuilding year, I think, but a year that will still be very exciting to see how it progresses.
And then men's soccer, T. Logan Fleck is the coach, has been. He's got a new assistant, at least one.
Yes.
And I had talked to him earlier about that, and has had some success. 2009 champion, went to the NC2As.
If you look at the last 4 years since Logan has been our coach, it's been the most successful time frame in our men's soccer history. They have been highly competitive from an athletic standpoint, achieving conference championships or competing like they did last year in the conference championship game. You know, East Tennessee State, who won the conference last year, it came down to an overtime victory for them. I was there at the game. It was an exciting game. we had Johnny Mendoza actually, just as time was running out, kick a ball from midfield that missed, ending the game in our favor by about 3 inches. The ball hit the top post and went up instead of down, and otherwise it would have been another championship. So a highly competitive team. Logan has done a tremendous job with it. And again, we also signed Logan to an extension on his agreement. Again, a reflection of us saying, here we've got quality coaches. We want them to be part of who we are for a very long period of time. And with the expansion that's going to be happening here in athletics at Stetson, it's very important to have quality coaches secured for an extended period of time.
We'll be one of quite a few teams in this conference now that will have a split setup when we come to other sports. I believe sand volleyball is one of them, and of course the university's about to start football in 2013, like Jacksonville and like Mercer. And in fact, I think Campbell's going to be back in the football mix with Stetson, which they just leaving the conference last year and everything else, which is kind of interesting to me personally as a fan, of course. But we're doing a lot of improvements around the campus along these lines. What do we got going on?
Well, this year is going to be a growth year for us in that we're going to be adding a great deal of facilities onto our athletic campus. We're going to take our soccer field and we're going to turn that facility, run it northwest, north-south, and bring in a new grandstand area, new bleacher area, new locker rooms for our soccer programs. And actually add a practice area, a full-length practice field adjacent to that. And that's going to be part of a whole, what we call our athletics expansion initiative, which is going down to that area and making 5 practice fields, 2 for football, 1 for soccer, and 1 for lacrosse, which will be a new sport offering we'll have in this spring of next year.
That's women's lacrosse.
Women's lacrosse, but it will also house our men's lacrosse program as well.
A team sport, a club sport.
Club sport, but and then we'll have a game field for men's and women's soccer and lacrosse as well at that same site. And there we're going to be building about a 22,000 square foot facility, and locker rooms, coaches' offices for soccer and football. And then adjacent to us here, we're going to be adding a 6,000 square foot strength conditioning area for all of our athletes, which we're going to grow from 250 athletes to 400.
Yeah, that's a big deal. That's a lot of kids. And those football players are like, they're worth like 2 athletes because they're huge.
They are.
So I know that's going to be a big change. To finally, well, basically to end our little conversation here, and I appreciate you giving me the time to do this, the National Association of Collegiate Directors of Athletics gave you some recognition this year, and you were received a plaque saying you're Southeast Division I Athletic Director of the Year, Jeff. Congratulations. This is recognition of work that you've done, I'm sure, for some time, but especially this last year, and I think congratulations are due.
Thank you, Bill. I've been flattered, and I was very excited to receive the recognition, and as I said, appreciative of the organization to do so. Being recognized by your peers is a tremendous compliment and one that I am honored with.
Couldn't agree more. Thank you once again.
Thank you.
Folks, Bill Topping, ASUN Fall Sports coming up. Stay tuned. We'll be back later in the year to discuss the others.